Hi kindergarten friends, and welcome back to writing. So today we are going to actually write our story. So yesterday we worked on a sentence box. I think that's what I called it. Sentence box, story box. I call it a million different things, but it means the same thing. It's a box where we put down our ideas that we are going to use for our story, and that's what we are going to do today. So you guys might remember my sentence box, and it looks a little something like this. Yours might look different. It actually might look a whole lot better because you might have taken your time doing your drawings. We are going to pull this out. If you do not have this with you, please pause this video, go search your house, find your sentence box, and then come right back. Alright, so I hope you guys were able to find your sentence box. You will now need a writing paper and something to write with, pencil, whatever it is that you have. I am actually going to use a marker, and I made lines in my journal, even though my journal already has lines, but I want to make sure that you guys are able to see what I'm doing with my writing and how I'm going about writing. So I ripped out my sentence box, or whatever it is that I call it. I call it so many different things, but I pulled this out because I want to keep it next to me. You can do that, or you guys can go ahead and just like flip back and forth. If it's in a journal, you can flip back and forth. Because I'm showing you guys how to do this, I ripped it out so that I'm not having to stop in between my writing to flip through my journal. So I went ahead and ripped it out, and this is right next to me to just kind of keep me on track while I'm writing my story. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to think about is our character. So depending on who your character is, that's kind of how you want to start your story off. For my story, it is about me. So I am going to start off the story by saying, what's another way that we say that we refer to ourselves without using our names? It's I. So I'm going to go ahead and write I. And I is a sight word. So the next square on my sentence square is, so I already did I, so I kind of got that. And if you want, this is a good way to show that you are keeping on track with your writing. You can go to the side and add a little check mark, and that tells you that you already included that. So on our second square, it is the what. So I chose my bike. And so the way I'm going to incorporate that in my story is I'm going to think about, if it's a bike, what do you do with a bike? Do you walk it? Do you drag it? Do you talk to it? No, you ride your bike. So now I'm thinking, this is something that I did days ago. So I'm going to say the word rode. So it's going to say, I rode my bike. So I already have I. I'm going to add in a finger space, and I'm going to stretch out my word road. So, you can go ahead and shout out the letters if you hear if you want to match the letter with the sound that I'm saying, you can go ahead and do that. O, D. Road. So now when I go back and read my writing, I can read that. I rode my. And my is actually a sight word. It is here. I went through our sight words that we've already done this year, and this is one of them. So this is not one that we need to sound out. This is one that we should already know, but I included it here just in case you forgot. So I rode, we need a finger space, my. What's my next word? Bike. You're right. So we already sounded out the word bike when we were making our sentence block, and it was 3 sounds that we heard. B, I, k, and the k could have been a C or a K, and I chose a K, so that's what I'm going to stick with. I rode my bike. I'm just looking at my paper and making sure that I have enough space to keep bike all together, and I think I can with just a finger space. Yep. Awesome. So if we go back and read, I rode my bike. Now we're going to look back on our next square. Oh, we should give this one a check mark because we finished that part. I'm going to go into my next square, and there it is my where. So where did I ride my bike? Do you guys remember? by my word and picture? Yeah, I rode my bike at the park. So that's what my sentence is going to say next. So let's go back and read just to make sure we know where we ended off. I rode my bike at. We want this next word to be at because we want to say at the park. At. Guess what, guys? At is another sight word that we've worked on. And I actually don't have the card because I might have left it at school, but that's okay because I remember how to spell it, and if you don't, I can help you. At. Perfect. I rode my bike at the. Guess what? That's another sight word. Exciting, right? We are experts. We are writers. We know how to write these words. And I do have this card, and it's right here. In case you forgot how to spell the, it is T-H-E, the. So let's go ahead and add a finger space. And do you guys remember how to spell the? It's T-H-E. Awesome. So let's go back and read. I rode my bike at the, what's my last word? Yeah, it's park. So we want to leave a finger space. And guess what? We already did this work yesterday and wrote park on our sentence block. It's right there. Park. Park. So I don't need to think about it that much again. Park. Awesome. Let's go back and read. I rode my bike at the park. And then we are at our last square. So I want to give this one a check mark to show that we're done. We already wrote the me, so we included me by saying I. We talked about that what we did with our bike. We talked about where we rode our bike. And now we need to talk about when did we ride our bike at the park. Okay, so we are going to write in the afternoon. So I don't think that I could fit. I mean, I probably could, but I don't want my words to be too squishy. I'm going to make the decision to go ahead and go to the next line down. And in is actually another sight word that I've also left at school because I don't have it here, but that's okay. I can help remind you what it looks like. It's an I and an N. So let's go back and read. I rode my bike at the park in the, we know how to spell the because we wrote it up here, finger space, T-H-E. Let's go back and read just to make sure where we left off because sometimes as writers we almost forget and we want to make sure that our story is clear and we're not rewriting words that we've already wrote or we're not skipping any words that we haven't wrote yet. So let's go back. I rode my bike at the park in the afternoon. So I have afternoon already written on my sentence block. I think I have enough room to fit it in this space. I'm going to try my absolute best and make my letters small to make it fit. So we are going to add a finger space. And I added 2 O's here. I didn't explain this yesterday, but I added 2 O's here because when 2 O's are together, it makes the ooh sound, like kind of like when you're interested in something or someone shows you something cool and you go ooh. It's 2 O's together. Afternoon, and there's an end at the end, an N at the end. And period. That's my sentence. That was so easy writing that sentence, right? Our ideas were already on another paper and all we had to do was just kind of put it together. So easy. Now, I know I said in my other video, if you wanted to challenge your writing, you can add a problem and a solution in order to make your story either a little more interesting or add a little bit more detail. You guys can totally end your story right here and it would be absolutely fine. You can go ahead and start working on your picture. But if you added a problem and a solution, I'm going to go ahead and write mine in right now. And then I will go through it with you and we can read my new story together. Alright, so here is my finished story. So if we want to go back and read it together, It says, I rode my bike at the park in the afternoon, and here's where I added my problem and my solution. My tire popped. I called my friend and she brought a pump. Awesome. So now that you guys are done with your writing, you can go ahead and start on your drawing and your picture and have this story ready in case your teacher wants to see your story that you worked so hard on. I would show even both the sentence box and your story whenever you have your Zoom call with your teacher and it's just you and your teacher. I think they would absolutely love to see your story. That's it for today, guys. Keep working hard and I'll see you soon. Bye!